Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Friday, February the 3rd, 2023. Friday, February 3rd, 2023. Okay, so actually, that's my little alarm getting ready to go off there. Today's episode, so. I knew this whole week was going to be a nothing week, and I think next week is going to be more of the same, right? We have Jack. He, I guess, invited Diane to come back for dinner. And, she comes back in her little black dress, and Jack is standing there um, at the door frame between the living room and the dining area in his tuxedo. And I said, well, good God, Jack, you look good. You clean up super well in a tux. Man, right? Jack Abbott looked good. Am I right, everybody? So then Diane comes in and starts doing her usual, we're so happy, but I'm sure someone in the Abbott clan will come in and then they're not going to approve. And goes, no, Kyle and Summer took Harrison to the movies. Tracy's on a plane to meet her publisher in New York. We have the house to ourselves. Oh, well, that's nice. And then Diane always says, but Jack, so he can always reassure her, continuously reassure that things are going to be okay, reaffirm. So, of course, I fast forwarded the rest of that madness to see Jack just sitting on the couch, just so gullible, so happy with Diane. Ooh, right? You know what I can tell already? And I want to know who's with me on this. Already, we could tell the shoe is about to drop. How many of you out there feel that because how fast they're making this whole Jack just so happy with Diane and they got away with Stark? Oh, they're on cloud nine, right? The shoe's about to drop. And I'm saying, let's see, this Valentine's Day is 10 days away. I think by Valentine's Day, the shoe would have dropped. That's my prediction, everybody. By Valentine's Day, the shoe would have dropped on these two. Okay. So then we have Billy and Chelsea. They go to society, and the hostess says, this is the most romantic table in the place, and gives it to him. And that makes them all self-conscious. And Chelsea, she goes, she thinks we're on a date. How much does anybody else think we're on a date? It's like, who cares? You're out having dinner together. And anybody that can see the way you're looking at Billy and Billy's looking at you, more the way she looks at Billy than Billy looks at her. Billy still seems to be lost, really soul-searchingly lost. But Chelsea just lights up when she sees him, right? So he's talking to her, Chelsea, no, nobody thinks we're on a date. This is not, she goes, is this a date? This isn't a date, is it? And he goes, look, when I'm taking a woman out on a date, she knows it's a date. I'm better than leaving somebody wondering, are they on a date with me? So, they have dinner and they go back to her place. And she was just like, you had a strange look at on your face at the restaurant. And I'm thinking, yeah, because you were making more of it. Because he even brought the server over and said, listen, this is not a date between she and I. And Chelsea's looking like, So he goes, no, Chelsea, I don't have a strange look. She goes, yeah, I think, what are you uncomfortable about, perhaps us dating? And he says, Chelsea, we're friends. Okay. And we know each other. I see you. I see into, like the deepest parts of you. And she goes, and I see you, Billy. So she kisses him on the cheek. And I thought, Valentine's Day is coming up in 10 days. Who's with me in thinking Chelsea and Adam? I'm not Adam. Chelsea and Billy. I'm not saying would sleep together by Valentine's Day, but I think they would be in a passionate kiss by Valentine's Day. That's my prediction there. What are you all thinking in comment corner, right? So now, this was late in coming, wasn't it? We thought something was going to happen when they went to LA weeks ago. But Victoria comes in. I'm happy to find you still here. They're like, well, I want to make sure you know you're getting what you paid for, and blah blah blah. She brings in this, I think, 25-year-old single malt. And I had to look up, well, what kind of alcohol is single malt? And I guess it's Scotch whiskey, right? A very expensive bottle. And she goes, for very special occasions. And Nate is like, well, what's the special occasion? She's like, well, my father's taught me, sometimes you got to break it up and mix it up, not all straight work, just mix it up. And that's what we're going to do here. So the way they're pouring down the bottles, and I saw her get closer on the couch. Every time we got to reach for the glass, we go, get a little closer. Oops, that glass a little far away. Oops, right? Sure enough, after the third glass, they both seeming a little tipsy, bouncing ideas off of each other. And you know what Nate did that I knew he couldn't do without? Within the first 2 minutes of the conversation sitting on the couch. You see, this never would have happened at Chancellor Winters. Devon never would allow me to just express it. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that is such old news. What Devon would or would not do. You can't get your cousin out of your head at all. Now, when was the last time you heard Devon talk about Nate? Except for under the guise of Nate and Tucker and the IPO, that's just an example of how we almost lost it, right? But you get other people like Lily throwing up Nate to Devon. Nate is not consuming his whole head. He just isn't, But I guess, how could he? Nate don't hold a candle to Devon possibly losing the last decade of work that he's done or more, with that whole them trying to keep his company and buy him out. So Nate don't hold a candle to none of that in Devon's head. But Nate, even though he's got this new job, he's making all these decisions, he can't get Nate out of he can't get Devon out of his head. He just can't. And it's ridiculous. So Victoria, with that third glass, she leans in and kisses him, and he was kind of like, wait, huh? But then realizing, okay, now how do I play this, right? Because she's my boss, and Victoria is not ugly at all. She's easy on the eyes, and look, I want to climb the ladder. So if I got to sleep with the boss, I think I'm down, right? I think I'm down because we've got to do whatever we got to do to get ahead. See, it's funny. They're almost playing this in the opposite. Normally it's the subordinate female that feels like she's got to sleep with the boss to get ahead. Probably, look, Audra and Tucker, because she never would have had all her student loans paid without it. Right? Okay. Sally and Nick, yeah, she thought that was cementing her deal there. But Nate now, Elena who? Elena ain't coming up in his mind whatsoever. As a matter of fact, Victoria, now that she's done it and seen, he kissed me back, she kind of finishes up. She stands up and straightens her. She goes, I liked our conversation. I'm going to leave this bottle here for next time. And she goes, that we want to celebrate. Yeah, for next time. No apologies for, you know what? That was a little inappropriate. That was a little inappropriate. You're my subordinate. And I happen to know you're in a relationship with a woman you claim to love. Victoria could care less. Not in the least. She's not going to feel the least bit guilty about nothing she ever does. So, what did not happen that normally happens in soap land? Why was Elena not standing at the door as they're kissing? They always write that in soaps. Elena's popped up there more times than not. He's working late. She could be coming with some dinner, right? And standing right there with her hand holding the little society bag and looking like, oh, what, huh? So Elena is going to be in for a shock, just like Chance and Amanda were in for a shock. Because at some point, she is going to catch them sleeping together in that office. Or Nate is going to out and out just end it with her to be with a Newman, to be with Hay. That's what you do. You don't understand what it takes, Elena, to get ahead. And if hey, the feelings are real between me and Victoria. No, they're not. But guess what? Let's see where they're going to go with that, because it's not going to be nothing good. And she had the nerve to complain to Nick about sleeping with Sally. Nate, I know you already found the couch sheets in the bottom drawer of your credenza, because you need them for Victoria now. There you go. So I was like, okay, whoa. I was wondering how long it was going to take for that to finally happen. Victoria was having way too many meetings in Nate's office versus her own office. Everybody has to come to her for a meeting. But she sure is right there in Nate's office for a lot of meetings, right? So now we have comment corner. We've got Brooklyn. She says, hopefully Phyllis will down the road eventually succeed in bringing down anyone who messes with her children. And Brooklyn also says, by the way, I've been one of your fans since almost the beginning. Sorry, I haven't participated. What, Brooklyn? What do you mean you've been here? You're right. Sorry, you haven't participated. You know we love comments here. So welcome. Thank you so much. Spread the word, everybody. Look, we're 1,000. I mean, we're like 4 away from 900. And then next thing you know, we're going to be at 1,000 subscribers, right? And then Brooklyn also says, sorry to say about my girl Phyllis, but supposedly Adam's new love interest is Heather. That would be interesting. A dynamic like that. Good. Adam needs somebody, because for some reason, Daniel, and they keep saying Heather's Daniel's partner. You mean all those years they never got married? Brooklyn says, hi, I know my favorite girl, Phyllis, is always known for messes, but she's her own truthfulness, and deep down she means well. She's looking forward for more of her messiness. Well, you know what? Look, isn't it going to just backfire if she does bring back Heather and now Heather goes for somebody else? Yikes, oops. And then Daniel will really be pissed at her. And there she is. Dito says, didn't Sally have a conversation with Chloe about missing her birth control pills? Lily needs to take off her CEO hat, put on her sister hat, and have a conversation with her brother as his sister. Maybe she'll get a clue then. LOL. I have to skip the Diane and Jack stands. I know, because frankly, they, oh my goodness, Ditos, you wrote a lot. Frankly, where am I at? Because frankly, they make me nauseous. Jeremy needs to hurry back because he needs to blow up their relationship. Kyle thinks he's so slick, but he's really just a dunce. Will somebody please make him and Shaq matching, or him and Shaq matching dunce caps? LOL. I'm telling you, Jeremy is eventually going to drop the other shoe on Diane. Won't Kyle's mouth just rock wide open when he hears his mother is married to a criminal? I know something is up. Did Diane have another kid and now we got a secret kid by Jeremy somewhere that's probably 9 or 10, right? I'm still banking on that storyline. Summer and Kyle need to remove all the drama from their lives once Kyle confesses to lying to Summer, and they need to get their own place. Summer does still have that house that Nick built for her. You know what? I don't remember a house that Nick built for her. I remember a house Nick built for Nick had built a house that he's living in with Christian. I don't remember him building a house for Summer. LOL, at least she wouldn't have to deal with so much Diane. I know they have enough money, they could get their own place. They had their own place in Milan. I wish the producers would spend money and bring back old characters more wisely. Heather and Daniel are just watching paint dry, or just watching paint dry. I know. May I suggest they bring someone back like Kane? Yes, I said that all along. Kane Ashby is the one. Amber, Daisy, even Sheila. Well, look, Sheila's getting busy on The Bold and the Beautiful right now. So, and that was weird with Lauren's little special 40th tribute. And she was saying Sheila Carter is dead. And if somebody told me she was alive, I would send her back to her grave. Well, I'm thinking, well, Lauren, LA and Genoa City is not like another planet. You definitely know the Foresters, and you mean to tell me you don't know Sheila Carter is alive and well, and now with Bill Spencer. I mean, yeah, Bill Spencer, yeah. And then let's see. LOL, sorry I haven't posted, but life got in the way. Haven't heard from my sister friend either. I'm a little worried. I tell you, I was worried about both of you, Ditos. Oh, and one thing I forgot to say, everybody, is of course, I fast forwarded all the Sally drama. I gotta think about being a mother. And then her and Nick go to bed, right? And after they make love, or no, look, have sex. I ain't calling that love. Have sex. She's like, Nick, I got to tell you something. And he's like, what? This baby could be, Adam could be the father of this baby. And I thought, since when did Nick know that? Nick knew doggone well you slept with Adam. And Nick also knows if you don't use protection with him, you don't use it with Adam. And then Nick also knows that since you obviously like was sloppy with your birth control, that the baby could be his brother's. That's always been in the back of Nick's head. Now he may have been acting like he was big man on campus, and I'm claiming the baby, but Nick always knew that was a possibility. As he sits there and looks at her like, huh? Yeah, please. And then Sherry says, I forgot about the house. But you're right. Didn't he have it built for them? Did he? I thought it was for Christian. I don't remember that it was for him and Summer. And then Dito says to Sherry, Nick had the house originally built for he and Chelsea. Oh, he gave the property to Summer. Oh, wait, I think I have that wrong. Sorry, Nick bought the property for he and Chelsea. And when they broke up, he gave the property to Summer and Kyle. I can't remember if he had a house built on it and Summer had to renovate it. A little bit to suit her. So, but if Summer and Kyle were building a house from scratch, that's interesting. I just always remember that one house that he's living in now was he built it for him and designed it for him. Then we have Hogan says, I recall that when Abby bought the building for her restaurant, that she was going to renovate the rest of the building as apartments retails. Well, look, Abby didn't buy the building for her restaurant. I mean, she was opening a restaurant, and I kind of think she's leasing that building. Or maybe she and Devon bought the building, but for sure Abby didn't buy it. Abby and Devon were full partners on the restaurant. And if truth be told, I think Devon put up more money than Abby put up on that restaurant. Even though Abby has, she still has that billion she won from the lawsuit when all the Newman kids sued Victor. So she didn't need Devon, but Abby didn't want to use all her money in case it failed. Come on now. I got to bring in somebody else's money in case that fails, right? But anyway, everybody, that is it. That's it for Comment Corner. That's it for the daily recap of The Young and the Restless. Let's hope next week is better than this week. This week was not a good week as far as I am concerned. So I'll be back on Monday.